these are the new traction belts. The upper one just simply hooks over the top of the table. I kind of like to have that buckle where it's recessed a little bit when you put the pillow on. If I can have that pillow there. Thank you very much. So we're just going to put the pillow right there. Now when the person lays down, we're going to have them orient towards this. This should be above the waist. So in this case, when Mindy lays down, she's basically going to sit here and then lay down so that again this strap goes above the waist. You'll also notice that the straps have already been laid out here. You have a small strap and a large strap. We're going to be using the large strap first, the small strap second, and that's going to be on each side of the belt. And it's just a little different than what we've used before, so you'll see that in a second. But Mindy, I'm going to have you lay down. Again, you sit right here, try not to shift that too much. Lay down on your back. There you go. Perfect. And then from this position, we're basically going to be making sure that this is pulling from the center. So I could see that with Mindy, the belt is just a little bit to the right of center. So yeah, I'm going to have you bridge up. I'm going to scoot that. There you go. Back down. And that should be the middle, which it is. And then from there, I'm going to flip over this top one. These things are just to grab onto. Nothing weaves through those. You might want to take your phone out of that pocket right there. Perfect. And so I'm just going to flop that over like that. And I'll put that on the counter if you want me to.
Thanks.
Yep. And then we're going to flop this one over on the other side. And again, they've put these here so that you can really secure it. So the idea is I'm going to be, pulling here pretty firmly, pulling here pretty firmly, and then wrapping that first one nice and snug. Again, above the hips, not on the hips because it has to catch the hips. Okay? Now from here, this is what gets a little bit different. We have to be kind of careful with this, but we can see how long this one is. This one actually comes back through, so the person will be, in a way, straddling this. So you'll see there's a T that's formed right here, okay? And from here, we're going to be buckling in to the device. So as I get this larger one here, I'm going to pull this side so that I could clip in to this T mechanism without pulling it off center. And then from here you can see that I have too much, slack basically, so this is the end that I shorten. So then we clip in there, and again, as you could guess, we would want this to line up with the middle. So you can see where I've pulled it just a little bit left of middle. I can just spin it. It spins really easy, so you can get a good middle pull. Now from here, this thing may slide down as the traction force starts being applied. So that's what these small straps are for. So I'm going to weave this through there. Okay. Clip in here and then tighten this up like that, and that just keeps it from sliding down. So I wouldn't say this part is easier. But it definitely is a more secure, position to be in. Now from here we can strap in the upper part. This part I do like a lot. I'm going to just pull this down just a little bit here, Mindy. There you go. And then we're going to wrap that around like that. And then the other one over the top of that. And that just really helps keep the person from sliding. Now from here, before you put the bolster underneath the legs, we're going to flip this, the belt down, because you you don't want this mechanism to be on top of the belt. So temporarily this stuff needs to be out of the way. And then from here, you'll notice this is offset, and that allows the strap to go to the opposite side of it. So tighten your stomach. Let me help you with your legs. I'm going to put that right there. You'll also notice that I'm putting this mechanism out towards Mindy's ankles because this is going to pull her towards the machine, so I don't have to keep on moving this if I think ahead. Okay? And then I'm going to put this in the center like it was, and then this strap is provided so that I can pull on it and take up a little bit of slack before I actually apply the traction. So you probably felt yourself sliding just a little bit.
Yes.
And that just helps, you know, preset the tension in the belt. I'm going to flip this lever like we always do, pull that out, and then clip on, and then make sure that it's nice and snug. And remember when you're doing this, see how this lever right here is all the way down? If it's caught in the middle of that, then when you do turn on the traction machine, it makes a big click. So make sure that that is all the way this way. You might have to jiggle the belt a little bit. So in this case, we basically want to start with the traction less than that. Okay, so the minimum level here is going to be 10. The maximum level will be 15. And I think that should be our standard, just so you're in the habit of doing that should you accidentally forget that it's set up higher when you put somebody in cervical traction. Now from here, we're going to set the time like we always do, okay? And then I'm going to hit start, and Mindy, you're going to feel that pulling just a little bit. And you can see that it doesn't go up very high, it's only on 7 right there. So now I'm going to hit max level, and I'm going to start cranking that up. Mindy, keep in mind that this should not hurt. If you feel any discomfort at all, make sure you let me know. You will feel yourself sliding down the table a little bit until the belts tighten up. How are you doing so far? Good. Now it does have a safety feature, remember, and that is the lumbar button needs to be pressed to go over 39 pounds. That's so that if somebody was on a cervical traction, you couldn't turn it up too high. So I'm going to hit lumbar, and that allows me to continue turning up the poundage. You feeling a pull out of that yet?
I'm feeling a little bit of pull out.
Okay, let's just go with that for now. Now keep in mind that to get it on intermittent mode from here, we have to hit start again. So I'm going to hit start again, and now you'll see that the hold time is decreasing from 30 seconds to 0 seconds, and then it's going to relax for 5 seconds. A good idea to stay in the room to make sure it goes through its cycle. As always, and I probably should have done this before, I'm going to give Mindy the off button. You press that red button if you feel anything that you don't like, and then also you're going to have this bell over here to ring again if you feel something you don't like. Now in the case that an aide is setting this up and the therapist is actually setting the poundage, for us to come in and do the final setup, it's very helpful if the person already has the button, they have the bell next to them, and then we can just come in and set the machine up versus having to scramble around and do that. So that's the new traction. If we had significantly more weight on this, Mindy would have slid down further than this, and I would have to reposition this in a comfortable position. And I had myself up to, I think, 120 pounds the other night, in which case I needed to start up higher on the table than this because, you know, I did slide significantly. And at a certain point you run out of rope here, and when you run out of rope, then the machine will automatically shut off. But that's basically the new belt system. Okay? we're good.